Superstars, it's Jono here talking about metal hydroxides for your GCSE chemistry exam. I hope you're excited. It's going to be a comprehensive episode covering everything you need to know. So let's dive in. So, metal hydroxide. Aqueous solutions of metal compounds contain metal ions. These ions can come out of solution when they react with a sodium hydroxide solution, and this produces insoluble solids. And they are called precipitates. And precipitates can't dissolve in water, okay? So if we take the example of magnesium, so magnesium ions form the white precipitate magnesium hydroxide when we have a magnesium solution and add sodium hydroxide, okay? Another example is aluminium hydroxide. So if we have a solution with aluminium, Al3+ ions, and we add sodium hydroxide, we form the white precipitate aluminum or aluminium hydroxide. The examiners can't hear how you say it, so however you want to say it is fine. The symbol equation for that is Al3+ goes to 3OH minus to Al brackets OH close brackets 3. Remember, OH minus ions or hydroxide ions have a -1 charge. So aluminium ions have a 3+ charge, so we need 3 OH minus ions to balance out that charge and form our nice, cute little solid precipitates. Okay? Now, what's important to remember with aluminium hydroxide, it dissolves in excess sodium hydroxide to give a colorless solution. So excess just means like a crap ton. So if you add loads of sodium hydroxide to an aluminium hydroxide precipitate, it's going to dissolve into a colorless solution. Okay? Now let's go over the reactions for calcium hydroxide. So Ca2+ plus 2OH minus goes to CaOH2, okay? And that OH is in brackets, and there's a cute little 2 at the bottom of the OH brackets, okay? So those three reactions again are aluminium hydroxide forms a white precipitate which dissolves in excess NaOH, Mg2+ also forms a white precipitate, and Ca2+ also forms a white precipitate, but those do not dissolve in excess NaOH. Okay? Now, you thought I was done? I'm just getting started. There's some more reactions you need to know for metal hydroxides. The next one is for copper 2 hydroxide. So that's copper brackets 2 hydroxide. Now, what does that cute little 2 mean? Well, that 2 is super handy. It tells us the oxidation state of copper. So when we have copper 2 ions, that means the copper has a 2+ charge. So if we add a hydroxide, what's going to happen? So Cu2+ plus 2OH minus is going to give us Cu open brackets OH close brackets small little 2. Now, when you're writing the symbol equation, we need our little state symbols. And remember, these are precipitates. So that Cu brackets OH close brackets 2 is going to be a solid. So we'll put a little bracket S next to it, okay? And that copper hydroxide precipitate is blue. Now, iron 3 hydroxide, that forms a brown precipitate, and the equation is Fa3 plus aqueous plus 3OH minus, also aqueous, goes to Fe brackets OH close brackets 3 solid, and that is our iron 3 hydroxide. Now, what about iron 2 hydroxide? We don't want honey feeling left out, so let's go over that one. Fe2+ plus 2OH minus goes to FeOH2, and that OH is in brackets, and that little 2 goes at the bottom of the brackets for the OH, okay? And that is a nice little green precipitate, okay? So let's go over those again. Iron 2 hydroxide, green. Copper 2 hydroxide, blue. Iron 3 hydroxide, brown. Now, do we know the formula for sodium hydroxide? It's NaOH, okay? NaOH. Now, let's take it back to the beginning. I love a circular structure. What color of precipitates is formed by aluminum or aluminium, calcium, and magnesium? That is a white precipitate. And do you remember which one dissolves in excess NaOH? That's going to be aluminium, okay? So that concludes metal hydroxides. Make sure you tune into the next episode, which is going to be looking at identifying even more ions. Good luck with all your revision. You got this.